let's head over to Knoxville because it is a loaded visit weekend. I got On3 Steve Wiltfong here with me to break it down. Steve, we start with big news of the weekend. Offensive tackle David Sanders is back in Knoxville. Felt like he just left. He was there last weekend. What do you make of these back-to-back visits for the number one offensive tackle in America?
And he's been visiting Tennessee since the 8th grade.
Yeah.
So this is a program that he has great familiarity with. The Vols are very much a major contender for David Sanders Jr. moving forward. And his visit this time is going to start on Friday. And he's going to get a chance to see what it's like at Tennessee as a student athlete, maybe attend a class, obviously get more time around the coaching staff, see what that atmosphere is like for a spring game, get a chance to watch the coaches coach a little bit on the field and just continue to try and picture himself at Tennessee. This is one that the official visits are also going to be big moving forward, and he'll take an official visit to Tennessee. Ohio State is a program rising in this recruitment. He is a top-of-the-board prospect for Georgia. They are pushing hard. There's been times where I thought Georgia was the leader in this. Yeah. Clemson was the child favorite. Then you have the new staff at Alabama that impressed him when he visited there earlier this spring. But Tennessee, they are a school that should not be slept on in the recruitment of David Sanders Jr. This is another big opportunity this weekend, really, because he is going to get a chance to see what that life is like for a student athlete at Tennessee, because he's going to spend so much time there on Friday leading into Saturday.
Yeah, and if you follow the visits with David Sanders, all signs point to Knoxville right now, at least right now. But like you said, this recruitment still has some meat left on the bone. Jaylen Matthews, another top 20 offensive tackle. He's going to be on campus. Tennessee's offensive line board is deep with talent. When it comes to Jaylen Matthews, though, who's the biggest competition? Is it Miami?
Well, I think that's a recruitment that's been fluid. But one thing's for sure is that he loves Tennessee. And you know, they seem like the hot school in this recruitment. Talking to Austin Price over there, publisher of our Tennessee site, he agrees. So Tennessee very much in the thick of it for Jaylen Matthews here right now. He's a guy that they've poured a lot into as well. And I think that they're in an exciting spot even coming into the visit this weekend.
All right, wide receiver Derek Meadows. He's a big-time national recruit, and our Notre Dame insiders, Mike Singer and the boys, are pretty optimistic right now of their chances of Notre Dame's chance of landing Meadows. Do you think that Tennessee is a real competitor here?
Well, there was a time where I loved Notre Dame's position in this recruitment as well, but the SEC programs are charging hard and making a big case. Kirby Smart, one of their favorite coaches in the country, had a great visit to Georgia. Alabama knocked it out of the park with him. Kalen DeBoer, Jamarcus Shepard, Nick Sheridan, that coaching staff did a fantastic job with that visit. And then he was also recently at LSU, the opportunity to potentially play with Bryce Underwood, to play at a place with such an elite track record of developing wide receivers. That was a big visit for LSU. And this is just no throwaway visit to Tennessee. I think Tennessee can make a move here this weekend with Derek Meadows, and then he has Michigan on the 20th. So although Notre Dame was maybe the favorite, did the most coming into the spring, a lot of these schools have made up a lot of ground with great visits, and I think he's taken his time with the process, and he'll take some official visits as well.
All right. How important is it to have a quarterback like a George McIntyre who's committed on campus around guys like Meadows and Sanders?
Yeah, he's one of the lightning rod recruits in this class. He's got a magnetic personality. Prospects are aware of how talented he is, and the opportunity to play with him is an inch or two in a recruitment that could add up to a recruiting win. So having him being an ambassador for your class, it's always huge when you have a quarterback in the fold that has that's charismatic, but also so widely known. And George McIntyre obviously was one of the most coveted passers in the country. All the top programs wanted him. Tennessee keeping him home was big, and gets a chance to help recruit players around him.
Yeah, he's definitely the bell cow of Tennessee's 2025 class. Speaking of quarterbacks, Faison Brandon, he's a 2026 arm, but he's probably somebody Tennessee fans should start to get to know.
Yeah, he's the number one quarterback in the country on On3. He's made a lot of visits this spring. LSU really resonated with him recently. Alabama, Georgia offered him while he was on campus. So there's, the who's who of college football already making a strong push early, and it's Tennessee's turn to get him back and continue to impress him. He's been on the radar for a long time and has been keeping an eye on the Volunteers, and it's another opportunity for them to impress this weekend.
All right, thanks, Steve. We will definitely go back and look at how David Sanders' visit went, also Derek Meadows. Just a big weekend in Knoxville in general.